Now we're going to draw something else with orthographic. We are going to draw this. This is a 110 volt duplex outlet for North America. And let me show you how you can do proportions. And you can do proportions with your pencil very easily. You take a look at this, and without using a ruler, you just go like this. That's 1 unit. See, that's 1 unit wide. So how many units long is it? You go 1, 2, and 3. So it's approximately 3 units long, 1 by 3. And then you go depth, it's about 3/4. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to draw, write down 1 by 3 by 3/4. And I'm going to draw the front and the top view of this. I'm not going to draw the side of this. And watch how I do this with expanding and subdividing squares. First of all, I draw my axes. I draw a diagonal line. Now I need a 1 by 3, so I need to make sure that I have enough room. So what I'm going to do is to make the 1 unit about that high. And now I need 3. And I'm going to do that by expanding the squares with diagonals. So now we have a 1 by 3, okay? 1 by 3. Now, the depth of it is going to be a 3/4. So, what we do is we draw a square top view. Now that's 3, that's 1 unit deep, but I really want 3/4. So notice that I'm going to divide this into quadrants. And ladies and gentlemen, that is my 3/4. So I don't need that line. So now I can come all the way across, and this is what we have. Now I'm going to draw this, and then we will discuss it after I finish it. Three-quarters, but it's good enough. Because remember, what we're doing is we're visually communicating an idea. Someone will see this outlet and say, it's an electrical outlet. And so this is 3/4. It's really 1 from here to there, but it's 3/4. Also notice that I estimated this dimension from here to there to be a half by picking up these points along the diagonals. Now I'm going to draw the other half. One of the things I want to point out is how did I find the center of each one of these? This is 1 unit by 3/4. You draw diagonals from here to here and from there to there, and that is the center. Then I drew a vertical line. Did here on this flange coming off is I used, this is a 1/2 unit, and what I did is I subdivided it with diagonals. Half here goes right there, and then 1/4 of this square would be this piece there with a circle in it. All right, and I'll do it to the other side now. All right, so what we have now is we have a front view of this. Oh, I did not put the screws in. Let me put the screws in right now. Notice the direction of the threads of the screw. These are right-handed screws, so the threads have to go in this direction. All right. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start darkening some lines to show you the edges of this. What I'm going to do is to show that this is a reflective metal surface and contrast it. So what I'm going to do is to just take make some parallel lines like this with kind of random width or spacing and do something like that. And then you can erase the lines that go beyond the perimeter, and that shows it's reflective. Also, what I want to do is to show some of this. You can see here that this is kind of an indentation, right? You can do something like this, and that shows the indentation. And like that. And one other thing, let me talk to you about light and shadows. Often we say our light source comes from 1030. That would be here in the upper left-hand corner. If that were the case, what you can see here is it's then going to have cast a shadow like this. All right. Also, this is going to be darker because that's going to be in shadow. That's going to be darker. This is not, though. And you can just start doing something like this, but you don't put a lot of shading on there, and the reason is because it makes your drawing look kind of muddy. Okay? And then you can do this. Put some like that, put some like that. And we are almost done with this front view. What also I like to do is the edges that are in shadow, these edges here that are far away, I like to make them a little darker to really show that they are the ones in shadow. And you can go like this, like that. And don't be afraid to use your eraser, but don't use the eraser too much though. And keep the drawing fresh. So there we have the top view of this, not the top view, the front view of this electrical outlet. Now I'm going to draw the top view and then we'll discuss it a little bit more. Okay, that's good enough. This really shows the structure and the proportions of this. I may want to do this a little bit more because that's in shadow. Notice that what I did is this is curved, so this is the darkest part. The highlight's going to be right there on a curved surface. I did a different direction of shading here to show that this is a relatively flat surface versus this curved surface here. And oh, there's a little bit of indentation. But frankly, that's enough. Remember, the idea is to communicate that this is a electrical outlet, and that's good enough. If you want a more detailed drawing, do a CAD drawing, but we're just doing visual communication. Also, what's very important is this. For every one of your drawings, you should sign it, and you should date it. Okay, that is the end of this video. I hope this was worthwhile. So I recommend you just take some objects and start practicing drawing them and to use your pencil to measure proportion.